Okay, fight fans and fight fiends, welcome back to Fight Week Rundown. I, of course, Manny MTL and Manny Montreal. Make sure to check me out on Facebook and Twitter. So, as usual, I'm going to give you guys the rundown on what's going on in combat sports this week and what other news I thought was pertinent. So first off, Friday, December 12th, Club de Boxe de l'Est, 2350 Dixon Streets, putting on an amateur boxing gala. $20 gets you in the door. Make sure you go check them out. I'm going to be there that Friday night. The following night, Saturday, December 13th, at Ruby Foos, TriStar Gyms and Friday Night Fights, putting on a Fight Against Leukemia Olympic boxing show. It's $40, great cause, support people. So, this leads me to my news. Okay, so first off, obviously I have to lead with the whole Pascal Belanti thing. I just would like to point out that a lot of people are talking about Belanti taking a dive. If you go check out my buddy Maz's video, M-A-Z-M-A-S, on YouTube, you'll hear his trainer tell him in Spanish to stay down, you son of a bitch. And basically the reason I think he's doing that, not because this was all orchestrated so that Pascal would have an easy win and this was a dive. The thought's actually stupid. But because he knew, and even Belanti knew, that they got hit after the break. And if they didn't get up, this was going to be a DQ. So, you get paid, you get to fly to Montreal, you get to fly back, and you don't have to get yourself injured, and you don't get a loss. Well, anyway, that's my opinion on what went down. Because the people calling it a dive are just stupid. Because the truth is, this is actually doing worse against Pascal, who may have put his fight a bit in jeopardy with Kovalev. Now, I would like to say this. Nobody should be talking about the dive or about Belanti. What they should be talking about is the fact that a professional like Jean-Pascal threw a cheap shot on a fighter like Belanti in the second round. It's not like there was rounds of rough stuff and like, Belanti deserved it. No, Jean-Pascal's a jerk. And he deserves that this shit show happened. Personally, I'm surprised people aren't sanctioning him for doing the cheap shot. Michael Griffin's a constant professional, and as a ref, I don't see him not saying something or doing something improperly that would cause Pascal to not be able to hear him. Plus, the crowd was super quiet because the fight wasn't that good. So don't come tell me it's because you didn't hear him. You wanted to give him a cheap shot, and now you're paying the price for it. This brings up the one sad thing, that a lot of people showed up for the Pascal fight, but missed out on the actual good stuff of the whole freaking card. Yves Ulysses Jr. and Stephen Butler. Been talking about Stephen Butler for a couple weeks now. This kid's already got to fight in another 2 weeks. Watch my other videos. Go look at this kid, Stephen Butler. There's a reason he is now 9-0. So, the other standout I want to bring up is Yves Ulysses. Wow, this kid is fast. I might even say it. I think he is the fastest boxer that's ever seen the Bell Center. Fantastic fight. Kid's got talent. Definitely look for him in the future. So, the stealing of the show actually went down in Brooklyn because David Lemieux just put on an excellent performance, as I predicted, by the way. And, so that was it for the week in boxing news. Now, as far as MMA is concerned, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of weird stuff. First off, UFC signed a deal with Reebok. Now, it means that all their fighters are going to have to wear Reebok. This is good for the guys that get plenty of TV time. I'm sure those checks will help. However, the guy that gets barely any TV time, that was putting patches on his shirt so that he could get free supplements, is now screwed. So I agree that it's not good that these guys look like a NASCAR, but on the same respect, you gotta figure out some sort of way to compensate them. Now, I don't know all the details, but it seems a little weird to me that everybody's wearing the same thing. Now, the card that went down this week was Johnny Hendricks against Robbie Lawler. As I predicted, Robbie Lawler defeated a 300-pound Johnny Hendricks, and it was a good card. The one standout I want to give out on that whole frickin' card was Raquel Pennington. Wow, not only did she land a sweet-ass choke in the last seconds, which she didn't have to do because she was technically losing the fight, so a lot of people would have just given up, but she gave it her all up until the last second, and it paid dividends. split open in the head, blood pouring down her face. She sunk in that choke and squeezed for home. And she got it in the last second. It was a fantastic fight. She now has a third eye. It's a gruesome cut, but if you were to go look at any fight from that card, go look at that one. Now, this brings me to their big announcement of CM Punk. Well, okay, CM Punk is now a UFC fighter. A lot of people are saying that this is bad, but I'll say this. The truth is that this is some sort of business structured model, because Dana White and Vince McMahon are technically friends, and there's no way Vince McMahon would let his ex-heavyweight champion, who walked out on him basically, go over to the competition. Now, I say this because Bellator and Impact Wrestling both have a deal with Spike, and there's a couple of their fighters that have some sort of cross-promotional deals. I could envision them offering CM Punk said deal, and then the UFC coming in, being Vince's friend, and offering a relatively similar deal just to get CM Punk out of the possibility of going to Impact Wrestling. Now, Impact Wrestling's on its last legs and might not make it past 2015 according to reports, so I'm assuming this was their last ditch shot. They were hoping, and if you know anything about Vince McMahon, there was no way in hell that was happening. So, in my opinion, you guys can cry all you want that the guy's now in the UFC without having any fights in these little cards and stuff. But, I mean, if they didn't sign him, he would have went over to Bellator. There's nobody out there that's going to want to fight this guy for only $1,000 or $2,000. I mean, go look at my last statement on the whole Mickey Rourke thing. It's almost the same thing. The guy's got a genuine love for it, and the only guys that are going to fight him are going to ask for more money. So, it is what it is, folks. Let him do his thing. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, he won't be there for long. This leads me to my last bit of information, and my happiest, because Montreal's got a new combat gym. Basically, David the Crow Loiseau's opening CTC Combat Training Center. It's going to be in Griffintown, no less. The guy picked even a really cool-ass neighborhood. Beautiful area of Montreal. Great gym. If you know anything about David Loiseau, is that apparently the guy was even worse in the gym. So if you want some of the best training there is in combat sports in North America, there's a new gym, and it's going to be in January opening sometime. I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully I'll get my ass in there and send you guys some pics and stuff. So basically, that's it for me this week. Make sure you check out Fight Week Roundup, where I'll give you this week's shows and let you guys know what we can watch as far as combat sports goes. Make sure you check out Manny's thoughts this week on the whole Pascal Belanti and David Lemieux thing. Like, share, follow, do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next week.